Hello there, it's Saturday the 23rd. Oh, it is the 23rd, isn't it? Just a minute, let me check. Oh, my computer this morning is running at the speed of a snail since I've done an Adobe, what do you call it? Oh, the one where you can read papers and things, you know, where you... I don't know what it's like. Adobe, not Flash. Oh, what do they call it? Adobe... Oh, I don't know what they call it anymore. Ever since I've done an update for that this morning, it's running like at the speed of a snail. So I'm wondering if it's done something to my machine, or maybe I just need to do a restart. I do not know. Yes, it's Saturday the 23rd of February 2013. Chris Reardon with today's United Kingdom talk. And just to remind you, on this Saturday the 23rd of February, we start a new karaoke night, boys and girls. If you're doing anything tonight, every other week, starting tonight, at the Lorry Arms in Hammersmith, in London, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. That's every other Saturday, starting tonight, the 23rd of February. Karaoke at the Lorry Arms in Hammersmith, every other Saturday night, between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. So looking forward to that. Is that you, Katie? Come here then, darling. Why do you stand outside meowing? Just come in. Come on, come in. I know what you want. What it is I'm recording this in the morning, and I always like to, in the bedroom, I like to throw open the windows once I've got up and pull back the covers and give the bed a good airing. Now, I close the door, you know, when I do that, so... But because it's cold, I don't want the cat on the sheets. I don't mind her on top of the duvet, but not on the sheets, because I'll start scratching and itching. So that's what it is. She's sitting outside the door, waiting for the door to be opened. I'm not opening it yet, Katie. No, not yet, darling. Come in and say hello. Come on. Come on. Katie. Don't be awkward, darling. Come on. Come on. Come up here, girl. That's it. Up you come. What's wrong with you? It's no use sitting there and looking at me. I'm not opening the door yet. Honestly, we are our cats' slaves, aren't we? It's often been said, dogs have owners, cats have slaves, and I am my cat's slave. It's true. She's doing very well, thank you very much. Yes, completely recovered now from her illness around Christmas time. And so that's all good. You remember that jumper I had on in my last show? Did I have the grey one on or the blue one? Anyway, remember the grey one? I told you that Ron, my best friend, had said it was the worst jumper that I'd ever bought. Well, in the end, all the buttons were falling off. Not just one, all of them. And I'd only had the jumper about 4 weeks. So I took it back yesterday to Burton's. It was only 20 quid. About $33, something like that. So I took it back to Burton's yesterday. I said, can I just exchange this, please? All the buttons are coming off. And I handed her one, which had come off. And I said, I've lost one. And if you look, there's 2 others that are about to fall off. And she took one look at it. She says, oh, yes. She says, I'm sorry about that. It's the first one we've had back. Would you like a refund, or do you want to choose something else? So I chose this one, which I've got on today. It's like a bluey grey colour, quite nice. The hood, it's got a hood on it, which makes you nice and warm. When I say nice and warm, there we are, I've got a hood up now, and I now look like a druid. I do look like a druid. Do they have sort of certain, do they have chants, druid? Hum, hum, hum. I think I'd be quite good at chanting. I can do Latin chanting like we do in the Catholic Church. You know, I can do a little bit of that. But the Druids do chanting when the sun comes up and things like that. I think I'd make a very good Druid. I would, as indeed Marge says in one of her emails a little while back. Isn't that right, Marge? Yes, it is. So I've got this new jumper, so I'm quite pleased with this one. Yeah. The only thing is... I had it on last night. It was particularly cold last night. I'm recording this on Friday. I know it's Saturday for you, so last night was Thursday. It was quite very cold. It must have been about -2 out there last night. And I didn't put a coat on. I thought, oh, well, this will do, because the other jumper actually did. And it's not, actually. I think I could feel the wind coming through the holes in the jumper, so not as warm as the last one, but I don't mind. And this was actually £5 cheaper, £15. Ding! We do like a bargain. Ding! £15. So I got £5 back as well on my American Express card. Thank you very much. And talking cheap items, I was listening to my friend on the radio this morning, Steve Allen. He does a wonderful, 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 funny podcast where he just lays into celebrities. You know, Z-list celebrities. He just lays into them and tells them how vacuous they are and how, you know, they desire the spotlight all the time and all this, you know, and the ridiculous of most of them. You know, Z-list celebrities. I hate them. I absolutely hate people who have no talent whatsoever and appear on our TV screens. A little bit like myself, really, you know, let's be honest with it, you know. But it just does annoy me when you see these people, for example, from The Only Way is Essex. No talent whatsoever, any of them. Completely vacuous. 2 inches of makeup and they look like a dog's dinner. All of them. And that's just the boys. You want to see what the girls look like. And Steve often refers to them as looking like Thai ladyboys. To be honest, I think that's a bit of an insult to Thai ladyboys. They look a hell of a lot better than the girls on The Only Way is Essex. They are freaks. All of them are absolute freaks. Towie is back on Sunday. And God help us, my nephew can't wait, can he? Jimmy, my 15-year-old nephew, he adores them. He loves the show. His idol, I've told you this before, his idol is Joey Essex. And my nephew's not even gay. His idol is Joey Essex. How can you look up to someone like that? I just don't get it. Anyway, so that's what Steve does. He was always slating these vacuous Z-list celebrities, you know, Katie Price, Jordan, there's another one, Victoria Beckham. What does she, what is she exactly? She never smiles. Miserable cow. And he was saying the other day, models, you know, why would you ever want to be a model? They look so miserable all the time, don't they? They absolutely do. You look at them all. Look at them all on the catwalk. Not a smile between any of them. Miserable load of girls and boys and the gay boys. Well, no, they're not all gay. And the models that are men. You know, men modelling different items of clothing. As miserable of sin. Why would you ever want a job where you have to walk around looking miserable like that? I don't care how much money they get. That doesn't make you successful. It doesn't. You know, there's an amount of people that rate success by how much money they've got. No, I don't think so. You rate success by how happy you can make other people. That's what I reckon. Absolutely. I've said that to you before, haven't I? You know, I'm not super rich, don't want to be super. Why would I want to be super rich? What does that do? Oh, I've got £10 million in my account. Is that going to make you happy? No. You can sit there, you can buy new cars, you can buy new houses, you can go on holiday, but does it make you happy? Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. No interest in being rich, me. Anyway, he was saying that he has now discovered a shop that I've been talking about for years, Sports Direct, here in the UK, where you get really dirt cheap clothes in there. I buy T-shirts for £5, and he bought the other day a pair of Slazenger trainers for £10. You know, so he's telling this on the radio because this is all new to him. He's never been to a Sports Direct before. And 10 quid, quite honestly, you know, I nearly emailed him in to upset him, to tell him that last year I bought 2 pairs of trainers in there as well. Not Slazenger, they were Donay, I think, D-O-N-A-Y, an unknown brand, but it doesn't matter. They're a pair of reasonable quality trainers, £8.50. £8.50 for a pair of trainers. And he's very happy at the moment because he's bought these Slazenger trainers for 10 quid. Good on him. Good on you, Steve, and welcome to the world of discount stores. We love it. We love it. Discount stores, buying bits and pieces. And as I say, I bought some T-shirts in there, £5 rather. Oh, I'm still in American time. Did you hear that? £5. Thank you very much. The only thing is my wardrobe has become quite full recently. And my best friend Ron had noticed this. Anyway, so Wednesday I went swimming. And when I came back, he says, I'm up here. And I've come back. It's in my bedroom. I said, what are you doing in here? And then I noticed all these piles of clothes on the bed. He said, I've cleared out your wardrobe. I said, you've what? He said, there was a smell in here. And to be honest, there was a smell in it. And we couldn't work out where it was coming from. And it appears that the reason there was a smell was because all the clothes in the wardrobe were very tightly packed together. Now, ladies and men, you may know about this. I never knew that could create a smell, but apparently it did. And he said, right, this lot are going to go. And there were loads of them. Loads of T-shirts on there. But really, there were some that I was wearing, and I thought, oh, you know, I don't know if this looks any good anymore. And what seems to happen with my T-shirts is that they shrink upwards, yeah? So they become too short, and I kind of put them on and try and pull them back down into shape. That doesn't really work, does it? So we actually ended up chucking out 2 large black sacks of T-shirts that were no longer good. So I'm quite pleased about that, really. Also, a load of shirts. You know those wonderful shirts, those of you that have been with us for a few years, I used to wear some very colourful shirts during the show. And he had a whole pile of those as well. You know that orange striped one? Gone. The brown striped one? Gone. The black checked one? Gone. The luminous green one, now that was my favourite one, gone. Because I do actually trust his fashion sense. I have no sense of fashion whatsoever. I really don't. So in the end I thought, oh well, you know, and it was, to be honest, it was getting a job getting T-shirts back out of the cupboard. So that was the piles on the bed, and I looked in the wardrobe, and there, neatly, were shirts hanging up, polo shirts in one shelf, socks on another shelf, pants on another shelf, and I'm quite pleased he did it, to be honest. I'm quite pleased. I am quite pleased he done it. Yeah. So there we are. You know, I'm not really moaning at that. Yeah, I've meant to do it for ages, but you know, sometimes I find it very difficult to chuck stuff out. Do you? I wouldn't say. Am I a hoarder? No, I'm not a hoarder. You know, I haven't got rooms and rooms of stuff. Have you ever been to someone? Are you a hoarder? Do you hoard stuff all the time? I wouldn't say that I'm a hoarder like that, but certainly with clothes, I look, oh, you know, I'll wear that for another couple of months, and then I'll chuck it out. But it doesn't get chucked out. So we've chucked away 2 great big bags of clothes, and I am quite pleased that he came round and did that. Right, let's go on to the emails. Tom Harris, hello Tom. Now Tom has already sent this in, but my computer must have eaten it. It must have eaten Tom's email. And Tom writes, Chris, I was shocked and appalled that you said that no over 50s has written to you. Apparently your computer ate my email that I sent on the 27th of January. So he resends. Hi, Chris. You asked on your show if there are any advantages to being 50. Since I turned 50 just a few months ago, just before me, Tom, Just before me, Tom, I can tell you that nothing much really changes. Someone said to me last night, it was, one of the drag queens, actually, that I work with. And she says, when you woke up that morning, that you became 50, what did you think? And do you know, it didn't even come into my head. I was in New York, of course, and I just woke up and it was like any other day. Some people might think, oh, that's a bit sad. Why wasn't it special? I wanted it like that. You know, being a DJ and sort of host type person I am, the last thing I wanted was a surprise party or anything like that. You know, to walk into a whole surprise, oh no, and then you'd get a big badge with I am 50 and possibly a sash as well, and all that business. And if you're very lucky, one of those strippers. But I really, really would not have wanted something like that, and that's the reason I went away. So when the day came, it's just like any other ordinary day. Didn't feel any different at all. No difference at all, except that in the afternoon, because this was the day of the Barry Manilow concert, in the afternoon I got a knock on my hotel door, and I opened it, and yes, and it was a member of staff there. He says, are you Chris? Yes. He said, this has come for you. And he handed me a card. She handed me a card and a Barry Manilow CD. And it was a birthday card from my best friend Ron and his other half Andy. They'd rung up the hotel and arranged for this to happen. So that was nice. But apart from that, it was a very normal day for me, you know. So there we go. Katie, what now? Come here. Katie. Katie. Come on. She's going to sit outside that door now and meow until I go and open. Are you coming in? Coming in. Come on. Do you want to sit up here while I'm doing my show? Come sit next to me, hey? Come here, darling. Oh, there we are, darling. There she is. Katykins. What's wrong with you, darling, eh? Hey? You're a beautiful girl, aren't you? Come on, down here. Go over there. Go sit on that stool. That's it. You sit on the stool like that next to me while I'm doing my show. All right? Tom says, but here in the States, there's an... Oh, did I move my microphone? Oh no, I got fur all over my nice jumper now. I meant to brush her the other night, but I can't find her little brush anywhere. She doesn't like being brushed. What I have to do is wait until she's settled on me and then brush her. Yeah, she really doesn't like being brushed. I think your first coming out a bit early this year, isn't it? Eh? It is, isn't it? Eh? Hey, come here. Come here, girl. Where are you? Oh, she's off out again. Where are you going now? Little bum disappears round the round the door. The towel goes up, doesn't it? Tom says, but here in the States, there's an organisation called the American Association of Retired Persons that you can join once you're 50. If you do, you get lots of coupons and vouchers for discounts. I must see if there's an over 50s website. Thank you. I found out that many motels and other businesses here in the States offer discounts for AARP members, and that I would make back the small amount of money that the membership costs if I only used it once or twice a year, so I went ahead and joined. I know how much you love bargains. Oh yes, we love bargains. So I wonder if you have an organisation like AARP in the UK. Maybe you'd be able to get discounts on your Barry Manilow tickets, since 90% of his fans are over 50, including me now. Yes, we are. Anyway, thanks for the mention on your most recent shows. And as always, I'm listening to each and every one, and that's from Tom in Chicago. Thank you, Tom. Excuse me. And yes, I think now and again we do lose emails, and Oh, you know, it's annoying. I do try and keep an eye, certainly on the emails. I rarely miss any emails. But sometimes people write on the Facebook or the Twitter or the YouTube, and you do feel there's so many different ways of coming in. It's difficult. Hello to James. Hello, James, who said, "Hi, Chris. You were saying about going on holiday in the UK. I have done Scotland, which is quite a good country, like with Edinburgh, with its castle, and Glasgow, with Barrow's Market. It's a big and varied market there. Wales is quite good too. I've been there when I was younger, and there are places like Holland, which is not too far away, which I think is also worth a visit." Yeah, but it's another country, isn't it, Holland? You see? This is the thing, James. I've really gone off the whole international travel thing. There's a couple of places that I really would like to visit, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it now, really. Israel. I'd like to go to Israel. I'd like to see the whole Jesus and Bible thing there, you know. I'd like to visit Bethlehem, and whatever else there is there to see, really. So I would like to go to Israel. And there was another place as well, I can't think now. Oh yes, I watched this programme on the television, Death in Paradise. It's a great series. It's just about to come to an end. It's about this detective from London who moves there, and I think that's on St Martin's, an island called St Martin's, or something like that. So there's a place I'd also like to go to be honest. Oh, and also I'd like to go back to the Vatican. I would like to go back to the Vatican, although, you know what, I don't know what's going on with the Pope and the Catholic Church, really, but he's retiring, isn't he? It's very strange, really. I just didn't think popes could retire just like that. Well, you know, obviously he hasn't done it, you know, on a whim or anything like that, but I just didn't think popes retired. So, you know, we wait to see what's going to happen there. James says, "As for wanting to come back home as soon as you get to a long-distance destination, it does seem to be a problem. And could it be age-related?" No, can't be age-related because I've always been the same. I've always got somewhere abroad and think, when can I come home again? James says, "I don't mean to offend..." Excuse me, by the way, I've got a bit of a cold today. James says, "I don't mean to offend by that comment, but one thing you have seen some of the world, like New York and Australia. I would like to see a few more places, and I hope I get the opportunity one day." I hope you do as well, James. "I've been to an Elvis and we can go on together with suspicious minds, and to a Buddy Holly tribute show in the West End many years ago, and there were people singing and dancing. It was great fun, and the Elvis tribute show, I went to this lady, was throwing roses on the stage. It was so funny, and it makes the show, and I wish all shows were like this." You said about Dad's Army, the TV show. My local amateur dramatic theatre does a live performance of that show, and Rising Damp was another one. 40 Towers is going to be done by the same people. It was quite good and amusing to see, and I wonder if this kind of performance would take off. And that's from James. I don't see how anyone else, other than the actors that were on Dad's Army, can actually do Dad's Army. Do you see what I mean? I don't see those characters replaced by any other actors, so I don't know how well that would work, to be honest, James, all right? By the way, anyone got air conditioning? I've got air conditioning in this room here, my air conditioning remote control, and every couple of years a little board goes wrong inside it, and it has to be replaced at the cost of about 160 quid. It's the remote control board, apparently. Now, I just want to know, those of you that have got air conditioning, probably in the States, in the winter, are you supposed to run it now and again to sort of keep things moving inside? Can anyone answer that question, please? Anyone who's got air conditioning? You know, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes a week or something like that? And would that stop it going wrong? If anyone knows the answer to that, I appreciate that. The email to the show is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Robert in Iceland has started his own blog. Now you can have a look at this by going to Pell's Home, Pell's Home, PELLSHOME.wordpress.org. Shouldn't that be org? Just a moment, I shall check that. Have you given me an incorrect spelling? That's not like you, Rob. Just a minute. Home.wordpress.org. I bet it's ORG. He's left out the R, hasn't he? Oh no. Oh, hang on. No, I can't find this. Did I type in the right thing? Let's try again. PELLSHOME.wordpress.OG. Should try the OG this time. No, it's not found. You've given me a wrong address there. I try with the ORG. www.PELLSHOME.wordpress.org. Now that's interesting. That address you give me just brings up the WordPress site. WordPress.org. It ignores Pell's Home, so I don't know what that is. Why is that then? So I can't see that. But fortunately, you've printed it anyway. I was just going to give it out so if anyone else wanted to watch it. Robert's in Iceland. He's a regular correspondent to the show. He says, I thought you might be interested in reading the first entry. So here we go. Robert writes, I find the month of February a time when one's endurance is tested. Momentum carried us through the dark days of January, born of the festivities of the Yuletide. That's true enough. We tire of these dark winter days. The snows of previous days and weeks have now matured into a diamond hard ice. Icelanders often take a break around this time of the year and fly south to the islands of Tenerife. Those, of course, who have either avoided or recovered from the economic woes of a world gone mad. For the rest, we have to endure it. It's our way. We are a hardy breed that live upon the line of latitude 66 north, the Arctic Circle, overlooking the vast expanse that is the Arctic proper. However, and this is important, we do not live in the Arctic. This endurance of which I speak has its tests in the variation of both climate and culture. In the former, we learn to adjust and to accept, and in the latter, we learn to complain. A northern trait to seek perfection and take joy when fault is found. We have those that love to skate and their counterparts who that hate to fall. We have those that love to ski and we have those who hate to fall. Did I read that out twice? Oh no, you've written it twice. Do check your things before you send them through, dear. God's sake. There is a trend now. I talk not of falling, but rather seeking advantage in life. Icelanders, the knowing ones, embrace this land of fire and ice. However, I am transplanted weed that has managed by sheer dumb luck and the love of family to put down roots in this harsh environment. I do, though, practice my complaining skills. My children love to skate and, yes, fall. They are the better part of me. I hate to fall and stand from the edge and would love to take that first step. I have to learn once again if that it's okay to fall. And thank you for that, Robert. Very happy to read out your blogs. If you want to check the address of it, though, because I can't get anything on that. Pels. Oh, maybe... What if I do it without the www? Is that making a difference? I don't know. Let's just try that. PWSHOME.wordpress.org. No, it just takes me to... It just takes me to the WordPress site. I don't know why that is. Thank you, Robert. Very happy to read those out. If you want to send them through, I think you're going to have to do it on an email because I can't see your thing there. But certainly, what do you want now, Katie? I'm not opening that door yet. You're going to have to wait another half hour, darling. Sorry. Thank you. We love our cats. We love cats. I've been watching some really good cat videos on YouTube. Have a look on YouTube and type in like mad cats or angry cats. You see a cat and an alligator. This cat has a go at an alligator and the alligator turns and walks off because it's scared. And another cat, there was two little girls in this video of about 6 years old, I suppose, and this dog was getting a little bit too excited, and it was holding on with its mouth to this little girl's jumper and trying to pull it off her. And, you know, this little girl, and she's going, no, no, and the girl starts crying. The cat has come out of nowhere and attacked the dog, and then stood in between the two girls and the dog. We love cats. We absolutely love cats. Back to your email, though. I know what you mean about the ice skating. I tried it a couple of years, I think it was a couple of Christmases ago, and I hadn't been for ages and ages and ages, and I just kept falling out. I hated it. I really hated it. I don't want to do that again, ice skating or anything like that. And you also say you tire of these dark winter days. Oh, I do. I hate it. I hate cold weather, you know. I mean, someone said to me, why don't you consider, you know, maybe when you retire you might want to move to somewhere like Spain or something where you never... I mean, of course you still have winter and autumn in the summer, but it doesn't plunge to the coldness that we have here in the UK some years, and indeed definitely this year. This has been a very long winter. I've had the heating on an awful lot. I mean, sometimes 24 hours at a time. I rarely do that, you know. I usually put it on in the morning and it goes off at night. Maybe come on for an hour here. But it's been on permanent. It's been so cold. So terribly cold. Hello to Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan. It says, great to see your video in New York a couple of weeks ago. I love New York and went a few years ago to Brooklyn. I know what you mean. It's always nice to come back home, isn't it? Oh, yeah, Jonathan, yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't know if you saw the other show, but it's got to the point now. I can't see myself going abroad unless I really, really want to. You know. Certainly, it did seem a little bit... I mean, I only went for the Barry Manilow concert. That's the only reason I went. And then, while I was there, just before I went, Suko said, why don't you come and see us at Suko in New York? And I had three wonderful days with Suko while I was there. She's fantastic. What a wonderful host. Her and her husband, Jerry, and her absolutely stunning daughter, Jade. Really are, all of them, and they're just such nice people. And had they have not hooked up with me, I think I would have been, at a wit's end. Yeah, I'm just not a traveller. Jonathan says, I feel so English sometimes when we go away. In fact, during a recent stag do, I was the only one who said they wanted to remain in the UK. Everyone else said they couldn't wait to move abroad. I get the impression that you'd like to move to Australia. Would you do that for sure if you knew you could work there? Yes. Yes, I'd give that a go. I'd give that a go because I've got lots of family there. I've got a wonderful cousin, Vincent, who's in the police force there. And he's a wonderful man, just a wonderful man. And he likes things right. Do you know what I mean? He likes things to be done right. And I would actually... You know, I mean, it's not possible. It really isn't possible, especially now I've gone past the 50. I would really like him to have said to me at some point, you know, I've now got this position. I want you to come and work for me, and I would have done him proud. You know, anything he asked me to do, I would have done. I do think I don't even know if he knows I think like this. I don't think he does. But, you know, if he rung up and says, Chris, I want you to come and work for me. I need someone that I can trust, that I can totally rely on 100%. I want you to come and work for me. I'd go out there. I wouldn't, you know, ask, you know, it wouldn't be like, oh, well, how much are you paying and all this. And I'd say to him, you know, as long as I'm going to have to live on, then that's fine by me. Yes, I would absolutely do that, yeah. Of course, my sister, and I'm sorry about the sniffing today, as you can hear I've got a bit of a cold. My sister and her family are here, you know, but I only see them twice, 2-3 times a year. I'm on the phone to them, or Skype now. You know, we use Skype a lot now, with Skype video calling to my niece, Tracy, when she's sitting there feeding a baby or something like that. And sometimes we have a Skype to Skype, and she's got one of those televisions, and it's got a little camera built into it. I think it's a Sanyo television. What's it called now? A smart. She's got a smart TV, her and her husband, and they put that on there. I can see the little baby and all that. And that's quite nice. So you know I could come back and visit, but yes, you know it doesn't get freezing cold there. Yes, the temperature drops down to what it is in the summer. Of course it does everywhere, but it doesn't get cold to the levels it gets here. I like Australia very much, and if there was any chance that my cousin doesn't watch this. I don't think he's got much of an interest in this. But if he wants to ring up and say, look, Chris, I've got a new position. I need someone working with me who I can trust 100%, who I can rely on, who will be loyal. That's you. Please come and work for me. I'd go. I'd go straight away. But I wouldn't do that in New York. Wouldn't do that in New York. It's too many people, too many things going on all the time. So you're right with that one, Jonathan. And of course it would be different to going away. You know, when you move somewhere, that's it. You would move all your things with you, or, you know, you'd start again and you'd have all your things there. When you go on holiday, you take what you can in a bag. Might be a large bag. I tend to take a small bag. I don't like to go around with loads and loads of stuff all the time. But when you move somewhere, you'd have all your stuff. So that would be different. It would be very different, I think. Jonathan says, you made me laugh talking about the massive pizza, but I would be the same. What is the point in having a few slices? Well, there is no point, is there? Can I have a slice of pizza? Katie, what now? What? You'll have to wait a bit longer, darling. I'm not finished yet. I told you can sit in here with me. Do you want to sit in here? All she wants to do is go and lay on the bed again. That's all she does now. She sleeps. She's left. Cats are funny, aren't they? Oh, you know, she sleeps and you go over to, oh, what do you want? She said, what do you want? She said, oh, I feel a bit hungry now. Could you bring some food up to me? You know, they don't like to do... she's gone downstairs. I heard a little paw marks going downstairs. Talking of that... Jonathan says, since quitting both meat and smoking for over 5 weeks now, I am stacking it on. The pounds are piling up. I find vegetarianism so carb rich. I need to work out how to eat less of the stuff. But it's so nice, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Once you get into this vegetarianism, I mean, it is. I mean, it is. I went to... a Jamie Oliver restaurant in Reading. Jamie Oliver's Italian. Went in Reading on Wednesday with Ronnie and his other half, and I had a vegetarian. We had these mushroom and something parcels. Oh, they were lovely. And I had nachos, you know, with that tomato sauce, not relish. What's that called? Tomato salsa, I think it's called. Had that on top of those, and some chips that they'd done in basil. Oh, it was delicious. But you're right, you know, I like potatoes. I love potatoes. Fried potatoes, mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, and especially roast potatoes and chips. I love potatoes, but, you know, very fattening apparently. Jonathan says, and not smoking always makes me think I should be chomping away. I gave up smoking about 25 years ago. Yeah, so good on you. You've done five. How long did you smoke for, Jonathan? I'm going to Vegas in October. I can't stop myself from reading hotel reviews, though, and always focus on the negative ones. Have you ever stayed anywhere horrendous? Are you a prolific TripAdvisor, Chris? Have I stayed anywhere horrendous? No. No, I don't think so. I'm trying to think. No, I haven't stayed anywhere horrendous. No, I can't. Oh, that must be awful. If you're like me, and you didn't, you don't really want to be somewhere after a few hours. You want to go home again, and that's in a reasonable place. What must it be like if you go somewhere and it's really horrible? Oh, that must be terrible. A prolific TripAdvisor. I don't know about that. I've been to a few places, don't get me wrong, some wonderful places, but I always want to come home again. Best place I've ever been to? Norfolk Island in the South Pacific. Beautiful. Jonathan says, I mostly watch your videos now on my phone via YouTube. I always find you by searching Chris Reardon and clicking on your Dusty Springfield video that I can click onto your latest video. That Dusty Springfield, that's a few years old now. It's got to be 10 years old. Years ago, boys and girls, actually, I wonder how many people have watched that one. I know has got quite a few viewers. Basically, I played Dusty Springfield and sung along to it quite madly. And I put it up on YouTube. Let me just see one. So just type in, even I'm going to have trouble finding this. Hang on. Type in Chris Reardon, Dusty Springfield. Let's see if that brings it up. There it is. Chris Reardon has Dusty Springfield. There we are. At the top there. My God, 2,683 people have watched that. 2006! 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7 years old, and I've got hair! I've got hair in that! Oh, I do look young and gorgeous. Why can't I look like that anymore? I can't believe that's 7 years old. Type in Chris Reardon, Dusty Springfield, on your YouTube things, boys and girls, and you'll find that, okay? He says, clicking on your Dusty Springfield video so that I can then click on your latest video. It's amazing how many of you have done over the years, and you actually seem more serious in one of them, the one that is just a few minutes long. Shouldn't it be the other way round as you mature? I don't know. I think I get serious in a few of them, don't I? It just depends. Sometimes they're happy-go-lucky. Sometimes they're serious. It just depends really what we're talking about, doesn't it? I wonder how many I've done. Must be coming up to 700 or 800 now, I would guess. Where do you plan to go away next, Jonathan says? Possibly to the Lake District. The next holiday I will hire a cottage or a bungalow, something like that, and stay in the UK. And I will drive there and drive back. How easy is that? That's what I'm going to do for my next holiday, okay? Jonathan says, thanks for entertaining us all. I love signing onto YouTube and seeing another video is ready. Take care, from John. John, do you not have a YouTube account? Because you can subscribe to the show on YouTube, Yeah, it might be an easier way to do it. If you subscribe... Now, how do you do that? Just a minute, let me find out for you. So go to YouTube... type in the search box, I think you could type in my username. 1 minute. I've got fat fingers today, I think. Did you mean Chris Reardon? Oh, yes. 1 minute. 749 videos I've got now. Wow. You need to somehow get to my page. I don't know how you do this now. Oh, there we are. Right, type in Chris Reardon. Oh, I know it. I know what it is. Just a minute. I know what it is. 1 minute. 1 minute. User. Let me try it out first. That's it. Where's the subscribe button then? I don't know where that is now. If you go to youtube.com/user/Chris Reardon UK, alright? And then the latest video will be at the top. But I can't find the subscribe button. I don't know where the subscribe button is. And then they are in order that they've been sent up. Okay, so that might be an easier way for you to do it there. Okay, I can't see a subscribe thing. I don't see that at all anywhere. Oh well. Thank you, Jonathan. Nice to hear from you, sir. How are we doing? So we're getting one more. We're getting one more email today, and then we'll disappear. Okay. Dear Chris, this is from Suko. I miss my friend. I had such a great time with you. I hope that our company helped to make your visit a little more comfortable. Without your company, my visit would have been very uncomfortable, Suko. That is the real truth of it. I know you enjoyed being with us, but judging for your comments on your last show, you were still ill at ease. Yes, I was still ill at ease, Suko. And there is no reason for it. Okay, I got lost once at the subway station, but I just feel ill at ease in any other country that I go to, except Australia, and that's probably because I've got so many. It might be the fact that it used to be British. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't know why it is. I was sorry to hear you, but I know what you mean. As much as I love travel, I feel uncomfortable. I'm so excited about going, and don't get me wrong, always have a great time. But there's always an underlying feeling of discomfort. Now, this is exactly what I have. So much so that McDonald's, which we rarely eat, has become a welcome sight to me as well. In my case, it's Starbucks. Rarely, here in the UK, do I visit a Starbucks. But when I'm abroad, in any other country, I find it's the only place that you can get a decent cup of tea. I mean, the hotel I stayed at, the Manhattan Hotel, lovely hotel. You couldn't fault the hotel. But, oh, Katie, I'll be with you in a minute. But, you know, usual thing in a foreign hotel, the tea bags were horrible. Horrible tea bags. They really were. You know, I bought my own tea bag, so that wasn't too bad. But you don't even have, like, the coffee machine. What? I won't be much longer, darling. Do you want to come in? Come on in. Come on. Come up. Oh, dear. Funny cat. You know, I made my own tea, but the water that the coffee machine made very hot wasn't actually boiling, so it's still not right. Going to a Starbucks, they can do you a perfect cup of English tea. They can. Ask for, or which, it was Awake black leaf tea is what it's called in New York, okay? Awake black leaf tea. And put the milk in yourself. Just a little bit of milk. Don't overdo the milk. Don't put in half a blooming bottle of milk because it'll ruin the flavour. Suko says, but almost everywhere we travel, we know someone, so that takes a lot off the edge. Seeing you and Ron last time we were in London, as well as our friends David and Beverly and their son Stephen, definitely made the trip extra special. I even enjoyed spending time with Madame Eris and James Dean in Manchester. When I left you at Belushi's in Hammersmith, I felt sad, thinking I might never see you again. And I had the same feeling when you rode the escalator up to the Long Island Railroad platform. I really hope again we'll meet someday. Thank you for all the lovely things you said about Jade on the show. What the fact that she's beautiful. She is. She is stunning, that girl. It really touched us all, especially Jade, who doesn't think she's all that. You're having a laugh, Jade. You are one beautiful girl, let me tell you that. Maybe there's some handsome British lad, no more than 19 years old, who would like to accompany her to the prom in June. Come on, chaps! Get your requests in, boys! Who's going to take our J-Dat to the prom? Resumes are welcome and she gives her email. Be sure to include an 8x10 full-length picture. From Suko. Well, I mean, you know, you say a 19-year-old British lad. I'm sorry, I cannot recommend her idol, Harry Styles. He's got a bit of a bad reputation at the moment. That's the trouble with him, you know. You can't be getting involved with any of the One Direction lot, I'm afraid, you know. They are huge stars at the moment. They're not celebrities, they are stars, the One Direction lot. But, you know, I've been seeing a couple of stories and I'm thinking maybe, Jade, that these boys are not good enough for you, to be honest. All right, lovey? Thank you, Suko. Suko, we will meet again. We absolutely will. I really enjoy spending time with you, Suko. And the way you took us around the shops, Macy's and what was the other place? First Century or 21st Century was it called? Where I bought my sister and niece and my niece-in-law handbags and the nephews and my niece's husband, Tommy Hilfiger shirts and all that business. I wouldn't have found those on my own. You knew exactly where to take me, and we spent some time, Suko and myself, just going around the shops, and then we had a bit of pizza, and I think, did we have a Starbucks? I can't remember if we went to Starbucks as well. Yeah, it was a wonderful time, and without you being there, I would have been I wouldn't have been in a very good state, really. You know. Anyway, that's it from the show today. I've got some emails waiting here from Anita. More from Richard, one from Heidi, who used to listen to us on Play Talk Radio, and young Dallas, who made us that little box that you saw on the last show and I described to you, and a little bit more from Suko as well, okay? All coming up, hopefully, in the next show. Boys and girls, thanks very much for watching and listening. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. You can join us on Facebook as well if you want to. My Facebook username is Chris Reardon UK, so that's facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK, and also Twitter as well, Chris Reardon UK on Twitter. See you on the next show. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.